Have you ever noticed how closely the natural world reflects our lived experience? One example worth reflecting on is how sound operates. A sound wave is real, whether or not anyone detects it. Dogs hear frequencies humans cannot. Humans hear frequencies inaudible to insects. Whales communicate at ranges that travel miles underwater. Some frequencies pass through walls, while others do not. None of this makes sound relative. It makes perception limited. Sound is governed by wavelength and frequency, not preference. If you cannot hear a very high-pitched frequency, it's not because you disagree with it. It's not because you are morally inferior. And it's not because the sound is false. It's because your ears do not register it. That distinction is everything. Applied to truth, some realities require bandwidth, not intelligence. Not goodness, but capacity. This is why truth does not collapse into relativism. Relativism says there is no objective signal, only interpretations. Physics says there is an objective signal, but receivers vary. That's the difference between saying nothing is true and recognizing that not everyone can hear the same thing at the same time. Truth remains fixed. Access is variable. Just like gravity pulls equally on everyone, even though not everyone understands how planets orbit, misinterpretation begins when limits become verdicts. Instead of saying, "I can't hear that frequency," people say, "That sounds awful." Anyone who hears it is deceived or has horrible taste. This is how a person's capacity becomes a verdict on character. In ideological and social systems, this often shows up as obedience replacing discernment, repetition replacing signal, and loudness replacing clarity. Volume gets confused with truth. Grace enters when we understand this. Some people literally cannot hear certain sounds. Some people are overwhelmed by frequencies others find clarifying. Some people mistake silence for absence. This allows space for us to conclude that other people aren't evil, stupid, or lying. They're simply tuned to a different station. And tuning cannot be forced. It happens through exposure, developed safety, and passage of time. Claiming superiority because you hear a wider range is just as flawed as denying existence of sounds outside of your capacity. Advanced receivers don't make better humans. They make responsible ones. Responsibility is knowing when not to shout at someone who can't hear, when not to mock someone overwhelmed by noise, and when not to pretend silence equals absence. True maturity is knowing when to speak, when to lower the gain, and when to let the room resonate. Here is the quietest insight. Some truths are not loud. They are low frequency. They don't announce themselves. They hum. They are felt before they are understood. And they are often mistaken for absence by those trained to only respond to noise. That doesn't make them weak. It makes them foundational. The principle is simple. Truth is not relative. Perception is. And just as gravity doesn't stop working because someone denies it, sound doesn't stop existing because someone can't hear it. Alignment isn't about forcing others to hear what you hear. It's about staying faithful to the signal you know is there, without needing everyone else to validate it. That is how you hold truth without arrogance, and grace without compromise.